everyone, Norma here. And today we're going to be working with Yogi. This is little Yogi. She's about a year old and she's 50-50. So she's 50% golden, 50% lab, and she's getting ready to go to her new home. Today we're going to talk about teaching your dog how to do stays. Come here. Stays are not the easiest thing for dogs to do. It's kind of like teaching a little kid to sit in a chair and be bored for a while. So it's not high on their list of things to do. We start our stays by teaching them to step up with their front feet onto a small child's stool. It helps if they're standing. So if you drop their nose a little bit with your cookie, it gets them up on their feet. And I get a hold of the elbow and very gently put their feet up on the stool. Now she's had some experience with this. You might have to put both feet up there. If you need to, there are some dogs that you may have to gently lift up. So put your arm underneath the chest, gently lift, put their feet up there. Good. And you're gonna click and you're gonna feed. You're gonna feed like crazy while they got their feet up there. If they step off, no cookie. So it's just clicking, good. Good girl. You're just going to kind of start moving around. If she does come off this, you say, uh-oh, and you're just going to bring her back. Feet. Good. Tell her feet or feet up. Good. And this is happy land. I don't care if they wiggle, move their hind feet, move their front feet, just as long as, uh-oh, she does not step off of the stool until I ask her to. Feet. Good. Good girl. So if she steps off, it's just, uh-oh, no cookie, no you, that's wrong. Good. So just moving around. Good. And there's no stay word at this point. It's just put your feet on the stool, eat a cookie. Get to the point, uh-oh. Like I said, that's good. Feet. Good girl. Good. Yay, good girl. Again, give them time to figure this out. Come on, baby. Good girl. Feet. Good. Good. Good girl. Good girl. So moving around. Good girl. Good. She thinks about moving off, moving around a little bit. Good girl. Once they get the hang of this, you can start saying stay, good stay, when they're holding still. You want to make sure that those front feet are still when you say stay, good stay. Stay. Make sure that you tell the dog, uh-oh. Come on, Yogi. Come here, babe. Feet. Feet, feet, feet. Good. Good. Stay. Tell the dog stay when they're up there. We need to name it while they're doing it. So a lot of people do stay when they go to move, and the dog gets confused with that. So you want to make sure that the dog is holding still when you say stay, good girl. And just work on stay, moving back and forth a little bit, moving around, getting to the point where you can walk around the room, walk around the dog. And again, if they go to step off before you tell them, it's uh-oh or no, very soft. But I like uh-oh because it's not the end of the world. To get them off of this, we're just going to point sideways. Whoops. Feet, feet. Good. Point sideways and say off. Yes, good girl. That's a girl. Good girl. Make sure that you're very clear when you want the dog off. So it's get off the stool, get off of me, get off of the couch. Good. And again, stepping sideways and pointing off. Good girl, good. Getting off is just as important as getting up there, because there's a lot of dogs that when you sit down in a chair and the dog puts his front feet on you and people are like off, get down. They'll say get down a lot, off. And the dog really doesn't understand what that verbal command is. So we are teaching get off of something at the same time that we're teaching them to work on their stays. So using this little step stool is fantastic because you can have somebody else come and pet your dog, especially if they're really, really excited about this. I'm going to ask Richard to come in here and walk past my dog. So we're going to get her up there. Come here, baby. Feet. Good. Now she's got to pay attention to me, and Richard's just going to walk by. Feet. Good. Good girl. Good. So it's pay attention to me. Go ahead and walk by her again, honey, if you would. Good. Me. It's not about Richard. No. Good girl. Good. So she has to focus on what her feet are doing. Because again, we're teaching her hold still. hold still is a very, very vague concept, so they don't get it. You can wag your tail, you can move around a little bit, but don't come off the stool. Elevation is important. Good, yay, good girl. They will get to the point where they love this thing. So we're gonna use Joy. Joy is finished up with her training as a service dog, but she lives up to her name. She's very, very joyful. So getting her to stay is a little more difficult for her because she's so happy. You can see how she, nope, oh, good girl. She hunts for that stool and she can pitter-patter around up there. Feet, yes. See how she like stomps on it? She really, really likes her stool because she knows that's where she gets the cookies. But the big thing is being able to touch her, good, and have her feet stay up on that stool. So when people come over to the house, you can use this to really, really help you out with getting your feet. Where's feet? Yes, good girl. So you can focus on her feet rather than stay, don't jump, don't wiggle, don't do whatever. Good, stay, good girl. And then we can move around, feet, good. Come here, feet. Come here, baby, feet, good. Now she does this better for her daddy, but we're doing demo. Stay, good, stay, good girl, stay. Feet, good, that's a girl. Feet, good. A dog that has this kind of energy and excitement and joy and whatever the heck you want to call it, it's hard to get them to hold still. So this is a great exercise for her to really focus on her stay, to focus on her feet. Good girl. So she's having to really work hard at staying on the stool. Stay. Feet. No. Feet. Joy. Feet up. Joy. Feet. Good. Feet. Again, super hard. I'm grandma. Stay. Feet. Yes. Stay. Good girl. Stay. Good girl. Good girl. Me being down here is really, really hard for her because she just wants to come say hi. Feet. Here. No. Feet. Good. Feet. Good. Stay. Good girl. So Richard's going to go over and stand next to Joy, and I have Yogi, and I'm just going to walk by with Yogi, and we'll show you guys how this works, and she's just going to stay up there. So even though there's another dog.
No, good girl. Feet.
And he's going to block her.
Feet. Good girl.
Good.
Wait.
This is very, very hard, guys.
Good.
There you go. Yogi, sit. Good girl. So we're just going to do stay.
Wait.
Sit. Good girl. Stay. Good.
Wait. Good, wait.
Good job. And then he's just going to let her get off.
Okay, off.
Yay, good girl. So this is your first step to your good girl. And you can see that she's hunting that stool. And that's what you want. Before you go on to anything else, teaching the stays, you really want them hunting the little stool. Now we have found these online. Make sure that these stools are solid. There are some that are out there that, you know, they fall over and then your dog's not going to want to go anywhere near them. So this is just a very low stool that they use for kids in the bathroom, and it works really well. So it's something that you don't have to worry about the dogs falling off of. So again, it's just good. They really start looking forward to this because this is all about their cookies. So we want to make sure that we are, come here, babe. Yoy. Yes, good girl. Rewarding the dog when their feet is on the stool, guys. And then working on off, come on, off, come on, off. Good girl, come on. Yes, good girl, yay. Feet, yes, good girl. Feet up, and then off. Come on, off, yes. So you click when the feet hit the floor, click when the feet hit the bucket. Hey, good girl, stay. And then you're just gonna work on moving around, moving away, picking things up, putting things down, having other dogs walk by, somebody walking up and petting your dog. Jeff, this would be a great place for you in your office. Come here, Yogi. To have your guys' clients go ahead and pet. Okay. So this is something that if you take your dog out in public, Jeff, if you have her, in your office, as I know you will, this is a great thing to work on when people come into your office. Just have her put her feet up here. People can pet her without her getting really, really silly. Make sure you've got treats available for the first little bit when you're doing this. Yogi, Come on, feet. Good girl. And then that way, they can pet her. You don't have to worry about her jumping up. Jumping up, guys, please, please, please understand that if you allow the dog to jump on you, she's going to jump on everybody else. So she's very good about keeping her feet on the floor. She's a big dog. You guys need to work on her feet staying on the floor. Okay, Yogi, what are so interesting down there? There's a really good smell. Good girl. So this is all about feet off, treats while she's on the stool. Release. Okay. Okay, so the next thing that we work on is we kind of reduce the size of the stool. You don't necessarily have to go to this step, but it is something that we do to work on stays. So we just work on putting their feet good. If they feel something like that underneath their feet, they're going to do a stay. So this is just a little covered piece of wood. No. There is something very, very interesting on the carpet. Come on. Feet. Good. Come on. Whoop-oo. Okay, so pretty different for her because it's tiny. Come here, baby. Feet. Good. So, but they'll hunt for something down there. If you guys have all seen the dog shows where the dogs stand real pretty and Westminster and all that kind of stuff, this is actually how we teach our dogs to do that for showing for confirmation. Here, babe. Feet. Come on. We like her to just walk up to it. Feel it, look for it with her feet. Good. Good girl. So again, putting something down there. No. Good. Good girl. And I like to see her a lot more solid on this before we would, be working on her. I'm in love with the rug. Come here, baby. Sometimes that happens, and I don't care. I want to show you guys, not perfect. Not perfect is not real world. So they're like little kids. They make mistakes all the time. You have to remind them all the time. And if you have a dog that doesn't make any mistakes, he's probably been trained with pretty heavy force. Unless they, obviously when the dogs get older and they get really good at their job, they're going to be pretty spot on. But for a year-old dog, making mistakes is how you learn. I make mistakes all the time, so I can't be too hard on my dogs. I'm kind of dorky, so, I learn from my mistakes, and hopefully they do too. Good. So we have to teach them, it is okay to make a mistake. That way they continue to learn. Good. Okay, it's very different for her. This is the first time she's had her feet on that. So feet, I'm going to just work on this. Here, baby, feet. Good. Yes. Oh, almost. Yes. Come on, feet. Good. There it is. There you go. I'm going to stay close to her because this is new. Good. And then same thing, off. So I decide when she goes up there. I decide when she gets off of that. I did forget one thing, and I'm going to bring it back out. Those of you that have problems with your back and bending over and all of that, which most people do, is sometimes even brushing them or putting these vests on, it's hard because you're bending over. So if you teach your dog to get dressed while they're on the stool, it's a really easy place for you to, put your stool by the front door, have your leash, have your collars, all of that, and nope, feet. Good. Good girl. So you just work through this stuff. Don't make a big deal when the dog makes a mistake. It's not a big deal. Oop, come here. Look. Ooh. Okay, get dressed. Okay. Stay. Good girl. That's a no. Here. Feet. Come on. Feet. Come on. Here. Yogi. Leave it. Feet. Yay, good girl. Head collar. No. Feet. Come on. Come on. Feet. Come on. You can do it. She's like, oh my gosh, but I get all this crap hanging on me. Good girl. Come on. Yay, good girl. Underneath the belly. Now, the reason I want to do this is, first of all, it gets her up higher, but it also teaches her hold still. They get really excited when they go outside. So getting the leash, the collars, and all of that sometimes can be a little difficult. And people will make all kinds of excuses. Oh, they're so excited. They just want... they can behave and enjoy themselves. So, you know, don't get into it. Feet. Good. Don't get into a wrestling match with them over collars and leashes and vests and all of that. The other thing that this works out really well for is brushing. So if your dog is really wiggly, you can go ahead and do feet and sit and brush them and have them hold still. The other place that these work really well is at your veterinarian. And if you take your little stool in there, toss your little stool on the floor, and your vet can do a complete exam on your dog while he's just standing there, take his temperature, do all that kind of crazy stuff, they are going to love you. And let me tell you, you know, the veterinarians will tell you they love all the dogs and all that kind of stuff, but when they get a dog that's really misbehaved, trust me, worked in veterinary clinics for a long time, and we're like, oh no, not Groucho. Oh. You know, and then you go and you do your job and you smile, but it's not pleasant. Or you get a dog that's just standing there and you're like, yes, it's so exciting to have, you know, Fluffy Buffy come in, and they just stand there, they're so good. Okay, so it's a good representation for being a service dog and that you've put your time and your effort into training. Okay, so that's just, and you can even, you know, take the collars and leashes and stuff off of them while they're up here. Again, leave it by the front door. This is a great place. Great place to practice this is by the front door, because when people come in and out of the house, everybody has jumping problems. You know, dogs like to get up to your face. They want to come up here. So if you put your stool next to the door and have your cookies ready, and when people come in and out of your house, dog is on the stool, good dog, and then you don't have to worry about, again, if he jumps off the stool and goes to say hi to Auntie Emma, instead of saying, no, don't say hi, you can put him back on the stool. Come on, baby. Feet. Feet, feet. She says, I'm getting bored with this. Come on, babe. Come here. Good girl. Come. Feet. Here. Feet. Yes. You can put them, you can redirect them. Anytime you can redirect your dog from saying hi and being crazy to putting their feet up on the stool, it's a win-win for you and the dog, because you can redirect them. They go, oop, I know that one, and then they can get rewarded.